Hello everyone, welcome to worshiptutorials.com.
Hello friends.
That's Brian, I'm Bradford. In today's video we are talking you through our new patch based off of the Mesa Lonestar that has been
Mesa Boogie.
made famous, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I feel like Andy Timmons is underrated. I
think that's fair.
He is an extremely nice guy in all the videos I've watched, so I've never met him.
Awesome guitar player.
Very awesome guitar player, highly underrated. He has made the Lonestar, that's like his thing. That's his sound.
He's kind of put it on the map.
And that's how I found out about it, actually.
To be clear, this is not an Andy Timmons patch.
No.
It's just using the amp that he loves.
Not at all. We just were going through the list of amps and thought, why don't we utilize this? It is a nice blackface Fender-y type.
Yeah.
When it's clean.
Yeah, and we're just using the clean channel.
We are. There's 2 channels normally. And when it's overdriven, according to like the Mesa website, they actually said that it kind of pulls from their Mark series.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. So it gets a little gnarly. I wouldn't quite say it's plexi-like, but that's the closest thing I'd say in relation to the common amps.
It's got this really chewy overdrive. It sounds really good.
Yeah, and it's tight.
Different than a Vox.
Yes.
And a little bit different than a Fender too. So,
yes.
Especially when you drive it. Yeah.
Very nice. So with the cleans, it's got this punch.
Yes.
Just hits you.
It's warm and round and punchy. It's good.
It's very good.
So this patch is similar to the rest of the patches you get from Worship Tutorials. It's available for all of the Line 6 and Fractal modern hardware. So you can get it for Helix, Helix Native, and Helix LT. You want the Helix patch for all of that stuff.
Yes.
You can get it for HX Stomp. That's a separate patch. You can get it for Pod Go. That's a separate patch.
All of that is important.
Yes. You can get it for the Axe FX 3. That's a separate patch, or preset, if you will. And you can get it for the Fractal FM3 as well. All
Also
those separate. Yeah. All those linked below. So all these presets across all these platforms share sort of the same type of effects, layout, and snapshots. For drive, for everything, we've given you like an amp gain button. So you hit that button, the gain on the amp turns up. And this amp sounds really big and huge when you gain it up. It's a good way to go for overdrive. And then we've also...
It is the epitome of transparent drive.
It is defined.
That is when people say they want a transparent drive, they describe doing exactly what this button does.
Yes, so
forget your $5,000 overdrive pedals and just use the amp drive button.
That's right.
And I don't mean to stand on a soapbox here, but more to educate and show people that this is exactly that, and it's beautiful.
It is
good.
It's
just your amp, just more gain.
And yes, and then for overdrives, for each unit, we have a King of Tone option, and we have a Tube Screamer style drive in all the patches. In the Fractal patches, we put the Full Tone Full Drive in there because it is good. And as Bradford was saying, that amp drive is great, and it's especially great when you stack it, when you run other drives into it. If you run a Tube Screamer type drive into an overdriven amp, it is a beautiful thing. That is the sound of rock and roll. All right?
That is true.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Or if you just want to get a little bit extra out of the patch, you're not quite wanting a drive on there. What I like doing, because sometimes that's me, turn the amp drive on, roll your volume back just a touch. That's why it is there, folks.
Old school. Yeah,
that is why it is there.
They put these controls on here for a reason. Right?
I will say, for the most part, I could probably get by with a guitar with 0 knobbies. I would need a switch,
right.
But I'd be perfectly fine without any knobs.
I agree with that.
But
actually,
occasionally I like rolling the volume back from 10 to like 8, 8.5.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little thing to do.
For reverbs and delays, again, it's going to be the same across all these patches. You've got a basic plate type of reverb, and then we've added a bigger modulated type of a reverb. For everything. For delays, you're going to have your simple sort of quarter note. I think it's an 1/8 note maybe in the Fractal stuff, but like a more subtle delay, of course a dotted 1/8 delay, because this is praise and worship after all. And then dual stereo delays in everything as well. Of course you can stack all that to your heart's content. There's chorus and everything. And now I'm going to let Bradford take it from here, because we've thrown in a Bradford Mitchell special.
Some of you may have already heard it, and maybe you were very excited.
We subtitled it. And we've said before that this is not possible in the Helix.
Yes.
With Jesus all things are possible.
Yes.
Including
However,
this tremolo.
it's not 100%.
That's right.
It's not doing exactly what, and even though in our fractal patch it sounds absolutely great, it's still not pulling the exact same thing that my Gravitas does, but that is okay. What we're using is like the bleat chop.
That's in the line 6 hardware.
Yes. And it is like a stepped trim. It's got 4 stages, basically. And the whole point for me, the part of the reason why I love using the ramping trim is it's different. Just trim in general, if that's all I had and I wasn't able to mess with stuff, I would still use it in a very similar way because I just like having that movement to end. It changes it up. But having that trim in the Helix is not exactly ramping because it's kind of all over the place. Yeah, but it still adds some different texture. When you step on it, you hear it kind of like change what it's doing. It does. It is as close as I can get for now.
Yeah.
So we worked on it.
Yeah.
And it is a nice, wonderful thing.
Yes. And in the fractal hardware, what we've done is, if you really want to get in there and adjust it, if you want to tweak it, we have mapped the speed of the tremolo to the LFO, and we have customized the curve at which the speed travels.
Yes.
So one, it goes slow to fast, but then it goes slow to fast sort of in a logarithmic type of a way.
Yes.
It got real nerdy. Bradford and I, that was a labor of love.
Yes.
That we went down so that you could benefit in the ramping trim.
Because whatever is happening on my Gravitas, it like floats almost. Like it kind of like if you imagine something launching in the air, it doesn't just go up and down. It kind of like goes up, hits like its highest point, and then drops back down. And that's what the trim does. You hear it and it just gets faster, and I'm not doing the noise, and it just falls back down again.
I'd like for you to try it.
It is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
So for the Line 6 hardware patches, you get custom-made impulse responses that we made here at Worship Tutorials from our Mojitone 212 cabinet with a 2 greenbacks, 2 different types of greenback Celestion speakers in them. We think they pair really great with this amp. In the fractal patches, you're getting the speakers from the Lonestar. They're in the Legacy speakers. Legacy speakers in there are awesome. There's a lot of great stuff. We think they actually sound really similar to one another.
They do.
So Mesa uses like these, I think this C90 speakers or something. I'm not exactly sure. You can go down that rabbit hole if you'd like, but the IRs are included with the Line 6 stuff, with the fractal stuff. Everything is stock. Links below to download this for whatever hardware unit is that you have. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.